What's good, everybody? So, I want to talk some shit, right? I think that I'm going to get the bads out of the way, all right? Because there's a lot of exciting things actually going on. But the first and probably least positive subject I want to talk about is this whole Facebook dilemma right now, okay? So, apparently, Mark Zuckerberg and his team of Facebook execs reported the BBC for the BBC reporting that there is child porn being streamed on Facebook's platform. So let's think about that for a second. Facebook has had a lot of issues with monitoring, supervising, and removing inappropriate content such as child porn, right? So the BBC reported to Facebook that there was content that is inappropriate on their platform, and Facebook, rather than removing the content, reported the BBC to the authorities. That's fucking crazy, right? That is the most irrational, immature, and most ridiculous response that Facebook has done thus far, in my opinion. Because Facebook, to me, if they didn't have billions of users using their platform every day and didn't have the traffic that it did, I would not use Facebook. Because Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg, they are like the king of con artist censorships, right? If that even makes sense. They censor everything that does not fall aligned with the corporations that invest in them, right? So this is why I'm closing out these messages as I receive them, so excuse me. But this is why Facebook had this big movement, right? Had this big movement for removing quote unquote fake news, right? Even though the fake news, in my opinion, this was going on during that whole Pizzagate controversy, has a lot more accuracy than most of these mainstream news outlets that are corrupted and perverted and compromised and serve the best interest of the leading corporations of the world. And that's the truth. All right. So Facebook did a great job at, filtering out all the accurate news and all the news that may, leave wealthy parties vulnerable to scrutiny and investigations, but are going to report abuse on their own platform in the form of child pornography. Man, you have to understand, look, I'm just a messenger. I don't give a fuck what you think. The fact is, child pornography, pedophilic rings, and human trafficking is damn near $1 trillion industry. Okay. It's hard to obviously give an exact amount of how much it's worth because it's illegal and it's a black market activity. But it is huge, right? And there are powerful entities involved in these types of things. Okay. So for Facebook to do what they did and still have difficulties till this day removing inappropriate content, right? Like, I'll get spammed for saying something or posting something, or a woman will be spammed for showing her titty while she's breastfeeding, but you can't remove some content that has child pornography? Where is your head at, Mark Zuckerberg? Mark Zuckerberg, man, come on. You have to keep it real. Let's look at the history of Facebook. Let's look at how they came up and how they got successful, right? They are a bunch of savvy businessmen. We'll just leave it at that, man. They're a bunch of savvy businessmen that put the best interests of their business first. Okay, so enough of that, man. Let's get into some positive subjects. Now, Jay-Z. Sean Jay-Z Carter, the third highest net worth in the hip-hop community. Very successful businessman, hip-hop mogul. You know him. I know him. You know what he does, all right? So he's made a lot of good investments as of lately, right? And he's recently launched a venture capital fund, right, called Arrive. So he's partnered with different organizations to provide assistance towards early stage startups, okay? Early stage startups in entertainment, the arts, clothing, things of this nature. So he's empowering startup communities by opening up this venture fund, right? And he hopes to empower a lot of different organizations that are focused on social causes, community-based startups, things of this nature. So it's great, and Jay-Z, without a doubt, regardless of what I think about him personally, he is an amazing businessman. He has made a great name for himself. And, I'm glad to see him putting effort into giving something back, right? Reciprocating his wealth, hopefully creating much more sustainability in the African American community by empowering Black businesses, brown businesses, Asian businesses, etc. Okay. The same thing with the Golden State Warrior forward. I think he's a power forward, Andre Iguodala. Okay. He has made a name for himself, man, as probably one of the most esteemed. I don't even know if that's a word, but it sounds good. Esteemed Silicon Valley athletic investors, right? In October of 2016, he organized a mixer with all the Silicon Valley venture capitalists and tech executives to meet with him and his team of Warrior players to collaborate and brainstorm on possible investments that could be used to, empower African American communities, empower minority entrepreneurs, right? Whether it be athletic, whether it be entertainment, whether it be consumer products, whatever. Andre, I salute Andre, man. He's doing his thing. And he was actually slept on for years. But within 4 years of him being a Warrior, right, out of Arizona State, he has done so much, man. He was an early investor in Facebook, early investor in Netflix, all right? He has done a lot, and he has created a diverse portfolio of all sorts of investments that he has been involved in. And he's continuing to do it, right? So hopefully setting the example by continuing to keep it lit with all this entrepreneurship that he's currently on, it will inspire others to do the same, because actually what needs to be mentioned is that despite startup endeavors on the decline, probably the lowest it's been in 40 years, African American and minority based startups are on the way up. They are increasing. So congratulations, Jay-Z, Andre Iguodala. Keep it lit, keep it going, and maintain your integrity, right? Because that's all that really matters. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter who you are or where you came from. It's a matter of maintaining your integrity as you go. All right. Last but certainly not least, man, I just want to say thank you for all the women. Thank you for all the divine feminine energy that you radiate onto all of us. We love you. Yesterday was International Women's Day. I was actually looking at, I don't even have it up anymore, but I was looking at all of the historical events that took place on March 8th, right? Yeah, no, was it March 9th? What's today? Hold on, excuse me. It is, so yes, yesterday, March 8th, on, because that was the day chosen for International Women's Day. And there was a lot of interesting data brought up that took place on that day. So again, man, we wouldn't be here without you women, and we all came from a woman, and we will all return to a woman when we are gone. So again, I just want to thank you so much for being you. We might not show you the love that you necessarily deserve because men are programmed a certain way, and affection and vulnerability is not their strong point. But trust and believe that we love you dearly. We hold a special place in our hearts for you, and we will do virtually anything to preserve your presence in our reality. So thank you. I wish you all well, much success, and until next time, stay balanced.